It's Miss Nisha's here. We're at the distillery district. It's very noisy outside, but there wasn't any room in the Balzac's cafe, so we're out here. I got a cafe frappe and a magic bar. Now you might be wondering, what is a magic bar? This is a magic bar. It's magical. It has chocolate, coconut flakes, macadamia nuts, chocolate chips, like a creamy condensed milk thing. It's a lot. It's a mix of many delicious things. So if the wind will let me talk, so let's try the magic bar and the cafe frappe. Basically, if you have a nut allergy of any kind, do not eat this. It has pecans as well. Do you say pecan or pecan? I like to say pecan. And let's just try the cafe frappe. Pretty good. Hopefully it doesn't rain on me, but we'll see. Recently, I've been thinking about how I've been sort of outsourcing wisdom by learning as many things as possible online. And I noticed there was a big gap between the knowledge I have and the wisdom I have. And I think it's a common issue for a lot of people these days, because we have so much access to tons of information online. So we get like this dopamine hit from learning new information online, and I think it's pretty easy to confuse the new information you've learned with wisdom. And there's a big difference between information and wisdom. You might know something intellectually, like mentally, but wisdom is integrating that knowledge, integrating that information into your being, I guess. There's a difference between knowing something and living something, right? So I feel like a lot of us have, including myself, have kind of become addicted to information while avoiding acting on that information, avoiding integrating that information. And so we think we're so wise and knowledgeable, but because we're avoiding acting and integrating the knowledge we just learned, we aren't actually benefiting from the knowledge and information that we learned. So in order to actually benefit from all the information we're learning online, in books, wherever, in order to actually use that knowledge, we need to act on it, we need to implement it, we need to live it in order to actually benefit from that knowledge. So I've been consuming a lot of information around spirituality, self-help, self-improvement, psychology, neuroscience, cognitive science. I've been consuming a lot, and so it feels like I know a lot about these subjects. It feels like I have a lot of knowledge. But having all this information like stuck in my head doesn't make me a wise person or an expert when it comes to these subjects. It's easy to think about that information or write about that information, but it's not as easy to actually live that information. It's not as easy to integrate all the information you have into your life, into your body, into your subconscious mind in order to change your beliefs and perceptions. So I think the overload of information that we're having these days is causing a very big knowledge wisdom gap, and it's kind of risky, it's kind of dangerous to think you're so knowledgeable but not actually be that wise because then you're just talking about things you think you know but you don't actually know, right? You don't actually have data from your own life and experiences to back up the knowledge that you have. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have all this information, I have all this knowledge, but the gap between my knowledge and my wisdom is evident, is very clear. So if I don't actually implement the knowledge that I have, if I don't actually change my behaviors and actions to be more in alignment with my knowledge, then there's no point in having that knowledge, right? It's just empty calories. It's just a waste of neural space. It's also hypocritical in a way because I'm talking the talk, but what about walking the walk? Like, I can talk all I want, but if the knowledge stays at this superficial talking level, then that just makes me a hypocrite. So I'm trying to get out of that dopamine loop, that ego trap, if you will, in order to actually integrate the knowledge I've learned over the years. We shouldn't give the responsibility of wisdom to another thing, another person. We shouldn't be outsourcing our wisdom. Yes, we might need help in certain areas of our lives. We might need to go to therapy. We might need to read a few books. But therapists and books and information can't change us. Like, the help we receive from outside can't change who we are. They can help us. They can inspire us to act in a certain way. But at the end of the day, any change, any progress, any growth has to come from within us. We're the ones who have to change. Going to therapy, for example, would be useless if I put the responsibility of change and wisdom on my therapist, right? If I expect my therapist to change me, I won't change. So going to therapy means I would just be getting inspired from my therapist. Therapy would just be a way for me to discover different parts of myself, discover different aspects of my life that were blind spots to me. But regardless of what the therapist says or doesn't say, it's still up to me if I change or not, right? So I think we have to be really careful with how we approach information and help, because sometimes we're unconsciously hoping that the information we're learning is going to change us. We're unconsciously expecting a therapist, a book, a YouTube video to be the thing that changes us. And nothing outside of us can change what is inside of us, right? We are the only ones who can change ourselves. we are the only ones that can actually gain that wisdom required to live differently. The clickbait YouTube video titles like "watch this for 20 minutes and I'll change your life completely" type video titles are kind of not helping, because they're making it seem as if watching the video itself will change your life, when there is nothing outside of you that could change you, right? There are things that could inspire you to change. There are things that might inspire you to act on your courage, to build your courage, to see things slightly differently that might help you change. But there isn't a single thing outside of you that can truly change you or make you better or make you wiser, right? There's no piece of information that will make you wiser. And it's a hard pill to swallow. I'm guilty of that too. Like, I've been searching for information in the unconscious hope that that information will change me somehow. I unconsciously expect that the new information that I learn about self-help, self-improvement, spirituality, or whatever will somehow change me. But learning new information doesn't change me at all. It gives me the satisfaction of feeling like I have learned something that will change me, but it stays at this superficial mental level. It doesn't penetrate deeper into my subconscious mind. It doesn't change my beliefs about myself. It doesn't change my beliefs about the world and what I'm able to do. What I want to say is, let's not outsource wisdom. Let's not outsource change, because attempts to outsource wisdom and change are always futile. They're always in vain. So let's just use the information we already have and implement them and experiment with them and integrate them into our lives, our subconscious minds and being, so that we can actually change our lives, so that we can actually have wisdom, right? But I understand how difficult that is, because when you're addicted to learning new information, always on the hunt for new information, you're basically not doing anything physically, right? You're just absorbing the information on your phone or on the book, in the book or whatever. We actually have to act. We actually have to take action in order to experiment with the information we've learned. In order to actually implement anything, we need to take action. So we've become a very complacent, passive society. I don't know if technology is to blame, but we can definitely use technology to gain information and knowledge, but we need to implement and experiment with that information in order to actually have that information benefit us, to actually have that information change our lives, right? I'm having a hard time focusing on more than one task at a time. So when I'm focusing on creating videos, implementing the information that I'm talking about kind of slips through the cracks. And so I'm hoping that the 2-week hiatus that I will be giving myself next week and the week after that will help me focus on implementing, taking action to integrate the information that I have, to gain some wisdom, hopefully, and actually experiment with the knowledge that I have, so that I have a deeper understanding of it, and so that I can change my life for the better. Yeah, so I'll update you on how my experiments go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and checking out my other videos. I would very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Take care. Bye.